Hello everyone. Up for sale today on eBay is an Optimus Lab-2250 turntable. It's a linear tracking turntable. It's one that was for sale from Radio Shack back probably in the mid to late 80s. This unit's actually working great. I did have to put a new belt on it. There are some cosmetic issues with the shell. There's a crack here in the back. It's a little difficult to see, but if you're looking at this on eBay, you should be able to see the photos. And there's also a little bit of fogging here on the front of the shell. And the last thing is it won't stay open on its own. You actually have to hold it up. But for this type of record player, it's actually okay because you can, once the record, you just set the record in there and then hit play and off it goes. But for this video, let me go ahead and take this off just so we can see a little more clearly. Pull it up here. Yeah, this thing's a little tricky sometimes to get off. There we go. That's probably why it got cracked right there, is someone struggling to take it off in the past. But we cleaned it up as best we could here. But let's go ahead and just give you a quick demo of how the record player works. This one will support 33 and 45 and 12 and 7-inch records. It also has a repeat capability, so it'll play the record, and when it's done, it'll come back and play it again. There's also a Q button, which is the same thing as the lifter for the needle, and then there's a fast forward and reverse button, which is how you move the needle back and forth. This type of record player, you don't actually touch the needle. My understanding is that some people prefer this type of record player because when records are mastered, they're actually cut in a linear fashion straight across the record rather than, at an angle where the arm usually moves on a regular record player. By the time it's on the inner track, it's actually tracking off a little bit, and these track a little bit more straight. The needle is actually in pretty good shape on here. I haven't seen it skip or anything. It's probably not 100% new, but I did clean it with a brush a little bit, and I clean my records here. So let me go ahead and give this guy a little play. Just hit play, and it'll start spinning, and then it drops the needle on the record for you. There it goes. I hit the Q button. You hear when you hit the Q button, it kind of skips just a little bit, and that just seems to be the nature of this. I know these guys have a motor that kind of tracks the needle forward on it while it's playing, so it tends to pull it off a little abruptly. But here it is, fast forwarding. And I'll go ahead and turn repeat on, and I'll put it at the end of the record, and I'll show you guys how it starts back over here. It's pretty close to the end there. Oh, don't hit the stop button. You need to hit the Q button again, or it's just going to stop. I've made that mistake a few times. Let me get it back to the right place here. Now that's the auto stop function. Let me get it to the end and then hit Q. Well, anyway. Oh, repeat went off. I just turn it back on. Hopefully it'll work here. And then repeat just went off because I hit stop. There it goes. I'll test it again on the 45 here and show you how that part's working. But there it goes. So I'm going to hit stop. Okay, I'm going to take this record off. Okay. I'm going to set it for 45, 7-inch. Play. Now I'm going to go ahead and leave repeat off this time. Well, I'll leave it on here. Just turn it on. That's right, I was going to test it one more time. Okay, lift it up. Go to the end of the record. Alright, so it's about to repeat now. Should go ahead. And it actually goes all the way back to the beginning and then comes back. It's just how it's designed, but it seems to work okay. I'm just going to hit stop. Turn repeat. Well, it'll turn repeat off when I hit stop. That's what it did last time. Yeah, there it goes. And it'll shut itself off. So it's working great. It's got a brand new belt in it. The stylus and the needle are still in good shape and working well. You'll notice sometimes too when you cue the record and put it back in that one of the channels takes a little, like a second for it to come back on. There's a switch in the needle which shuts the audio signal off, and it just takes a delay for a second. It doesn't seem to be causing a problem. Everything else seems to be fine, but just note that you'll hear one channel click in about a half a second later than the other one, and I think that's just the switch in there. It's never given me a problem other than when you cue and uncue it, so I think it's probably working the way it was supposed to originally. Anyway, it'll be up for sale on eBay, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and thanks for watching.